Ron Murray, Mr. High School Holla, K104 Sports, coming to you live from Lumpkin Stadium, home of the Waxahachie Indians. And with me, I have head coach, Coach Tolleson. Thank you so much for allowing me out today.
Man, I appreciate you being here, spotlight our kids.
Thank you so much, Coach. So you had a lot of success at Denton Ryan before you decided to be the head man at Waxahachie last season being your first season. What made Waxahachie so attractive as a destination?
Well, number one is the community. It's by far the buy-in of this town, the tradition of this program. I grew up in Corsicana down the road, and just knowing the tradition of Waxahachie and what a powerhouse they were, and the just toughness of kids. And you know, it's hard to leave a place like Denton Ryan. That was a collaborative effort of those coaches, those kids. That administration was unbelievable. But if you're going to leave a place like Denton Ryan, you're going to go to Waxahachie, Texas.
Okay, so with that, as a new head coach, what's the first thing you have to establish with your team?
Well, number one is our coaching staff. Our coaching staff is the one that sets the culture, starting with me, and it transcends down to the kids. It's got to start up top, and then with our coaches, with our kids. The biggest thing was the mindset and the culture here. I know culture is a big buzzword, but it's what you do every day, repeatedly. When it starts in the weight room, in the classroom, in the community, on the field.
So last season had a very successful season, went to the playoffs, first round, but I know there's going to be much things after that. How would you say the expectations were for you last season? You
know, I put a lot of expectation, number one, on myself and these coaches, and then the kids. But I tell you what, there was a lot to learn coming into last year. I feel like we play in the best district in the country, not the state of Texas. By far, 11-6A, in my opinion, is the best in the country. So, and that's why you come here. Why would you not come to Waxahachie and play, in my opinion, in one of the best districts, the best school, the best principal, the best athletic director in the country? So those standards are high, and it's okay. That's why you do it, right? I wouldn't be here if the standard wasn't high. I promise you that.
So how is it each week preparing in the District of Doom, like you said?
You know, focus a lot on yourself. You know, not really put a logo in front of that. That's going to come with social media and our world, and you know, rivalries. All the fans are going to do all that for us. We got to focus on day in and day out, the small things repeatedly, the going to class, the getting up, the staying out of trouble, practicing the little things right, and just really focusing on ourselves.
Who are some of those student athletes we need to watch out for this coming season?
Well, I tell you what, we're very blessed to be we're a senior heavy team when it comes to that. Our quarterback that takes the offense, Roderick Hartsfield Jr., I feel like he's going to have a breakout year because he's grown up now. He's been in the system for a year. Our running backs that we have are to me both dynamic in their own way. Iverson Young, Jade Bex, they're a 1-2 punch ready to go with a young one coming up behind him. You know, you got receivers. I feel like you got outside threats with Keith Abney, DT McCoy, Blair Hawkins, Trenton Kidd, Jermaine Jones. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of great kids that are just dying. And one thing about our offense, you know, there's only one football. And there's a lot of good players that need to touch it. So we got to do a great job of making sure they understand that we're going to make sure that they get the ball in certain situations, but also what do you do when you don't get the ball? You know, that our theme of the year is eat, everything about team. As talented as we are this year, we have to make sure that we don't put our own selfish wants in front of the team. Defensively, led by LaMarcus Reed, a.k.a. Speed Bump, Corey King, R.J. Hanna. At two corners, Keith Abney's a two-way player for us with a young Eli Thompson, but behind him, Calvin Simpson I feel like is going to have a great year. He's fired up. Our secondary with John Nelms, Greg Hatley is our Willie safety, who will also play some offense. And, you know, we call him Foj, Jeremy Jackson, defensive end. We got a battle going on at the left defensive end with Garen Mason, nephew of the All-American that played here, Coach Mason, along with Cade Pointer. We got Robertson in the middle with two sophomores battling it out right now, and a junior on his heels with Rice Evans.
Run it! There you go!
Roderick Hartsfield Jr.
Roderick, what can we expect from the Indians offense this season?
You expect us to score the ball a lot more. We'll run and throw the ball more efficiently.
LaMarcus Reed.
LaMarcus, what can we expect from the Waxahachie defense this year?
You're going to expect a whole lot of 3 and outs and give the ball back to the offense so they can put more points on the board.
All right, for someone who hasn't seen the Waxahachie Indians, what can they expect coming Friday nights?
Hungry, you know, and we, you know, there's a lot of hype, I guess, coming our way, but I hate that. We have a lot to prove. This team hadn't done anything yet, and we know that. We have a lot to prove, and we're not going to live off rankings and projections. We got to go out there and prove it, and you prove it is how you play.
Ron Murray, Mr. High School Holla, K104 Sports, coming to you live from the home of the Waxahachie Indians. Coach Tolly, thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
K104. Lead to the week.